Tell us a little bit about the kind of the importance of this one and what it means in terms of the title picture. I know you talked about it a little bit last night, but you're looking at this as no matter what happens in this fight, the winner's going to move on to be next in line.
Yes, I say that because he seems obvious. I'm fighting the number three contender. I'm the second, and the first and the champ they are fighting. So it's obvious that the winner gonna take the winner for the fight.
What would happen from your perspective if Cormier wins that fight and decides he doesn't want to fight you? He wants to wait for John Jones or something. Would you sit back and wait for it all to kind of sort itself out, or would you take another fight in the meantime?
Then I'll fight who? Then where will be the title? Hmm? The title has to be somewhere. So we will see at that time. So we don't just assume things right now and say if we will see.
Who do you think wins that fight, by the way? And do you have a preference who wins? I mean, would you prefer the?
No, I don't have a preference. Everyone who wins that fight should be a good fight for me, because in other way, I want the rematch with Stipe, and Cormier, since he's almost about to retire, it will be good to have a fight against him before he retired. So it's good either way.
I know you had mentioned to somebody in the very recent past that you'd be interested in fighting John Jones as well, if John ever moved up. I mean, give us your take on that.
If John moved up, it's obvious that we're gonna fight. There are nothing we're gonna happen. We're gonna make that to not happen. If he moves up to heavyweight, we're gonna fight. But there's something 100% sure. I'm not going to light heavyweight. At least they cut me one leg or something.
You mentioned yesterday how it had been a learning process for you, that you'd have to learn everything really quickly, especially getting to a high level in the sport so soon. And I'm curious, how much of that was stuff, did you mean technically, or how much of it was stuff of learning, like how it is to be, a pro fighter in the public eye, the stuff outside the cage?
You have to figure out everything by yourself. Unfortunately, I didn't have someone to learn me how he works, have someone to teach me all those things. I have to learn by myself. So you do your best, look around, and then try to understand the game. Every time you go there, you try to understand and pick up what you can pick up. That's the only way you can do. There are no a book that you're going to take and learn how to process, and someone know how to do because of their past, because they grew up doing sport or competing. It wasn't my case, so I have to pick. So I have to do something. I know I always have to fight against odds, but that's no the reason that I will not take the challenge and not back down.
Dana White had been critical of you and saying that he thought that you had a big ego, or he thought you made a mistake in moving your training camp before the fight. How seriously did you take that criticism? What's the relationship?
How seriously did I take it? I didn't pay attention for it because unfortunately it's not the first critical that I have in my life, and it will always be like that since people are expecting something and it didn't happen. And once the one thing, if that was my ego, maybe it was a good thing, because without it, I wouldn't be here. So it's something that I'm proud of, and I'm gonna keep it this way.
Or a few days ago, the French Ministry of Sports announced that MMA would be recognized as a sport in France in January 2020. I'm just curious, what is your sort of initial reaction to that?
I mean, we were all happy because we have been waiting for this for a very long time, and expecting it to happen. Also, I belong to the French MMA community, even though I'm not really a French, but that's where I started MMA. That's when I learned MMA. That's when everyone that I know before on MMA, that where everything started. So it will be that where most of my story took different level. So he'll be a good thing to maybe in the future have it to fight in France.
I was going to ask you, is it kind of a dream of yours to headline a UFC card in France, perhaps sooner than later?
Like a dream, I would not say a dream, but how I see things like, if MMA gonna happen in France, anyway, it probably gonna happen to the Accor Arena, which is the park, the park maybe like half of miles from the parking lot that I used to sleep when I went in Paris. I used to go there in the morning with my backpack and brush my teeth, and I was impressed. Like, oh, this is the Accor Arena that I've been heard talking about, and just imagine that you're gonna be performing in that arena. Yeah, I mean, it's something big, something very huge.
Francis, what's the challenge with a guy like Junior with a lot his experience? What's the challenge with him?
Yes, I mean, you answer your question. The challenge is a lot of experience. He's a tough fighter. He has a lot of experience, as you say, and right now he's very confident regarding to his past fight.
Can you tell us about the outfit a little bit? It's pretty cool.
Thank you. Well, just proud Cameroonian outfit, proud African. It's from my hometown. Since I can fight in Cameroon, since I can bring UFC in Cameroon, now I bring Cameroon here.